Alrighty.
Howdy, bitch.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going?
Welcome back to Coming Up for Air, an introspective podcast. I'm your co-host, Jaxon.
I'm your co-host, Brenton. Timothy. Sir Him.
One more. Rule of 3.
I don't know.
Sam, I am.
Yeah, basically, cat in a hat and his bitch. What's good?
Hope y'all are doing well. For today's topic, we're going to be talking about enjoying the little things and not taking everything so seriously. That is kind of, we'll focus on things like life shifting, unexpected things and how to kind of deal with them. Living doesn't necessarily, like living day to day, kind of stuff like that. Things we've kind of mentioned before on this podcast, but haven't devoted a lot of time to. Being
dead and alive at the same time type shit, you know?
Letting things roll off your shoulders, that type of stuff. But first, let's hit our check-in.
Hella. I wanted to talk about, I've been seeing all these videos on Twitter and shit like that and like Instagram there's gamer girls, obviously.
Gamer girls.
Right.
We talked about this last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. On like the hate and shit like that. But yeah. But like I wanted to like
people sniffing their microphone and shit.
Yeah, bro. Like there's a difference for me between like joking around with it and they being cool with a female and just being like, oh, and then like people seriously like hating on gamer girls. Like there's so many clips where I'll see that I've seen just in the past week that girls have posted, and they'll go into like a solo queue ranked Apex match, and two of the randos will be guys. They will throw their game, dog, in a ranked game because they're playing with a female. Yeah. They'll really throw their ranked games because they're playing with a female. And I think that blows my mind. Like they'll type in, oh, you're a bitch. Oh, I'm playing with a bitch. Oh, so you can't play. Oh, you're not smart enough to play this game. Like a whole bunch of shit. And then there was another streamer. I don't know her name. I didn't really pay attention. I just watched the video. And it sounds kind of shitty, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, that makes it sound so much worse.
It sounds really fucked up, but I was just more paying attention to the fact that this girl was getting so much hate. So I didn't realize, but I guess most female streamers have, like before they even start streaming, they already set up so many different words and different things that are blocked in their chat.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, but like
it's different because they have a lot more. I have just like cautionary words.
Yeah, and so like for me to see like this one female streamer took off all her unrestricted words. The amount of shit that was getting flooded in her chat, bro.
Yeah, chat switches up.
Dude, it was crazy, dog. And I was like, bro, the fact that like this is a normal for them.
Yeah, I can't remember what Twitch does exactly. I can't remember if it's like it auto deletes your message or if it just doesn't let you like send it. But I think it's an auto delete. Like I think it runs a script and then it just kicks it out.
Yeah.
But like that shit's crazy.
And I think that shit blows my mind because it's like, bro, like we got to be better, dog. Like anytime I hear a girl, I'm just like, all right, bro, like it's another gamer, yada yada. Like playing in Valorant, like we always joke around, like if we're in like our Discord and we hear a girl like as our random, we're like, oh, it's a gamer girl, and then they all end up being super chill. You know what I mean?
Not
like,
even just that, but like we don't even fucking mean it. We just mean it as like a meme.
Yeah, like it's just a joke, and then we're all like,
we also meme on the guys that we get too, like that one kid who was like, "Where you stay at, cuz?"
Yeah, bro. Like there's always super aggressive ass people that like use video games as an outlet that like. They can't say shit in real life. Like, bro, you're a fucking bitch. Are you kidding me? The fact that, like, that shit pisses me off.
It's fine to use video games as an outlet. I think it's not fine to use the other people playing as your outlet for aggression.
Yeah, or, like if you want to play games and shoot people as your outlet, fucking cool. But harming other human beings that are just trying to enjoy their fucking game, like, come on, bro. Like
that's what I mean. Like, it crosses a line at a certain point.
Yeah, and that shit just fucking... That shit bothers me so much, bro, because, I don't know, playing Valorant, like... I don't know, I've met some dope-ass people. Like, there's this girl who me and my brother both know through streaming and stuff like that. Her name's Vicious. And her homegirl, it was me, my brother, and Bar, one of the other homies that we've been playing Apex with. And we switched up to Valorant, obviously, from, like, as a break for, like, Apex. Because Apex is mind-fucking. And we switched up, played Valorant, and, bro, they carried us, each of them, dropping, like, 20 bombs in that shit. And we're like, bro, like they're call outs, they're fucking like they're demons, bro. Like, don't you like just because they're a female does not mean they're any subpar in any type of any type of way when it comes to anything. You know what I mean?
It's funny because esports is the same way as like actual sports are, in the sense that like the
I have yet to see like a real female on a real esports team, bro.
Well, it's because they're usually divided. It's like there's a women's league.
I think there needs to be a co-ed, because obviously I've yet to see an actual tournament get as hyped up as AOGS and COD for women.
That's because they don't. Back in CSGO days, that's when I would see a lot more of it, but like they don't get hyped up. You know, there was never events that like were covered the same way as they were in like for CS and stuff, for like the, I guess, male league. Like there's not rules that state that females can't be in it, or like women can't be in it. I don't know why I said that. It's your shit. But like it's almost like an unspoken rule where like they have their own league.
Yeah,
like
bro,
literally
go
NRG,
fuck yourself, dog. Like,
NRG is one of the biggest, like was a big league, and they have like a female division where they like wear pink jerseys and shit.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit pisses me off, bro, because like there are so many women streamers that I've seen clips of them just shitting on people, bro. And I'm like, bro, like
At the end of the day, like there's just mouse and keyboard or a controller, and you're still just playing the game.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Like, if you're good at a game, you're good at a game. You know what I mean? Who you are and your voice shouldn't fucking affect how you get treated through the game. That shit fucking blows my mind, bro. If you're a gamer and you shit on fucking females, if you're a human being and you shit on females, be fucking better. As a man, you hear a female, don't be a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, obviously we should be doing this in the real world, but I'm talking, like, I'm trying to talk specifically in the gamer world. Just because that shit is annoying, bro. And I got so many different, like...
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And most commonly, starting in the circle that you know and you're most comfortable with is the best place, because that's where you can get, you know, the most leverage.
Yeah, bro. And that shit just fucking blows my mind. Like, bro, just be better. Be a better fucking human being, dog. Like, everyone's just trying to enjoy their fucking game, dog. Stop being a piece of shit in people's stream. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. That shit fucking irritates me, dog. Like, I actually get really upset thinking about it. Yeah. But that's me. Be a better fucking human being, bitches. Love you. I hope you guys are doing great. What are you checking in for, dog?
I'm going to talk about wandering in my 20s. So I went and...
Fantastic.
Had dinner with my mom and her wifey the other day. And... I was talking to them about culinary school and some other stuff that I kind of like just was on the side. They talked to me about if I still was interested in opening up my own bar and stuff like that. And then like we talked about the podcast and some other things, and that I just like was like doing that they were aware of. And my mom was like, "Do you feel kind of like you're lost?" And I was like, I mean, I guess." I was like, you know, I heard someone say that the best thing to do in your 20s is to explore everything, because it's the best time for you to like really enjoy without the consequences of being too deep into something. Like, so just, you know, do the most that you can to find what makes you happy.
Yeah, so many people say that, like, you spend your 20s finding what your 30s and 40s are going to be spent on.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know, so I'm just trying to figure out what makes me happy, do stuff, you know, if I can find those things, then I'm going to do them. And I, you know, like, it kind of really made me start thinking about, like, there are some stuff that I really, really love doing and that I, like, am enjoying. Like, this podcast is something that I love and I care about and I want to see grow and I want to see it go somewhere. You know, I think that starting this podcast, whenever things started out, I was very much like, you know, we'll do it. We'll see how it goes. See how the first, you know, 10 episodes go. See how we feel. You know, probably won't see much feedback, probably won't see much kick, but then like it's something that I talk about almost weekly with a couple people. Like, that is the thing that they talk to me about whenever they talk to me.
Yeah.
And then like it, you know, is obviously slowly grown out a little bit of our bubble, and it's interesting because now it's not the like, oh, we'll see where this goes. You know, I just want a couple people to hear it. Now it's like this thing where I'm like, I want people to hear it. I want someone to look forward to our episodes. I want that type of like, I want to one day be able to do this on a live show type of vibe, you know?
Yeah, and I feel you, because it was really cool to like, because after we just talked about, you know, like the whole TikTok video with T, it was just like, I told her, I was like, yo, like, thank you so much. And I tried to tell her like, yo, like, I hope, you know, like, we really appreciate it. And her response was, nah, thank you. Like, you don't understand. You gave me a space to be free and like be spoken and be taken serious on a mental aspect. You know what I mean? And so like, if we can do that for people who are even just listening, you know, whoever won't ever be able to get the chance to be
like to feel that they're not alone. Because I remember when I was younger, that was my big thing, was like, you know, I was growing up and I was like, I feel so alone and like nobody could possibly understand some of the stuff that I'm going through. And like to have those outlets, the YouTube videos and or whatever, you know, I would watch a lot of those videos that's like people playing, they just have Call of Duty on in the background, but they're responding to comments and giving advice and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, things like that were like,
yeah, I mean,
what I loved, because
yeah, I mean, for me, that was X. Anytime X went live, anytime X was talking to people, anytime, you know, X was in
Tentacion?
Tentacion.
That one.
Yeah.
That's who he's talking about.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the fucking GOAT, bro. That's what I have my tattoos on. Remember what is real will prosper. He always used to say that to his homies, because like all of his people who talked about him, like they were like, bro, that was the most genuine human being I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? And he had Alone with a Broken Heart tattooed on his face. And eventually this will fade out and I'll get it tatted on my face too. But like a lot of people see it and they're like, wow, that's like really sad. And the way I think about it is it's a reminder to him. But for me, I always thought about it as like when you're born into this world and when you die are the two most alone moments you'll ever have in your life. Because when you're born into this world, yeah, you're born into your parents' arms, but you don't know who the fuck they are. You know what I mean? You're a random ass human being. And then when you die, you can die in someone's arms, but your soul leaves your body alone. You know what I mean? So between those 2 points, you might as well live life to the fullest.
This is very sad.
It is kind of sad, but then people kind of look at it like, damn, bro, like that's like hella motivating. You know what I mean? And it's like, it kind of goes exactly what we're, you know, talking about is, you know, living life to the fullest and trying not to fucking worry about everything that comes.
Yeah. But that's kind of what I was focused on. I was just like, enjoy your 20s. Try to like, and not even just in your 20s, you know, enjoy shit. Like
enjoy life.
Try and explore, you know, find things that make you happy, find things that make you smile, find passions. I don't want to talk super about like the podcast and stuff, because that's some of the stuff that I'm coming up on. We'll kind of touch on the podcast too, but you know, like there's a lot of things that I really want to work on and really want to kind of dip my fingers in. Like I started playing guitar again. I saw that. I
was like, oh, okay. I didn't want to like completely gas you and then like, but I was like, all right, I see you.
I started playing guitar again, which like has kind of made me happy to feel that again, because it's something that I love and I really want to try and stick to. I want to start working out again. I want to start doing parkour. Like there's a lot of stuff that I really want to like kind of get into to feel better about myself and happy. And
calisthenics, baby.
You and Justin.
That's literally what parkour is.
Yeah, I know, but
calisthenics.
Anyway,
it's the only reason why I'm kind of okay fit wise. It's because I just do push-ups and fucking sit-ups right now.
So let's dive in.
Hell yeah, brother.
So we're talking about enjoying the little things and not taking everything so seriously in life. So this is kind of a really broad topic for us to touch on, and I think that it's kind of ambitious for us to hit this, I'm going to be honest, because of the fact that the broadness of it makes it a little bit difficult to kind of hone in on certain things that we'll want to talk about.
Yeah, because obviously there's so much shit that like you can talk about when it comes to enjoying the little things, but whatever we decide to.
Yeah, let's start there. What is the little things considered? Like how do you label that or define that? And I think it's different for everybody.
It is different for everybody, and I think the starting point to that is finding what the little things are to you. And so for me, I would say starting that is slowing down. So for everyone who is moving at a fast pace in life, everyone who's trying to just like, all right, I'm gonna make money. I got this going. Like, do yourself a favor, slow down. Do yourself a favor, go to a mountaintop. Do yourself a favor, go to a park and read a book. You know what I mean? Slow down, enjoy the little things. Yeah, just like, I think that kind of goes in how we talked about in the early episode, like way earlier, about building habits. You know what I mean? It kind of goes in with like, even when I think so many people try to find the little things when bad shit is happening. You have to find little things in all aspects for you to really grasp what it is. You know what I mean?
And I think that you're right. Whenever bad things are happening is usually when you'll hear it the most of like, take it day by day, look for something to look forward to.
Yeah, like there's something good coming out of this. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's still something good coming out of another good thing. You know what I mean? Like that's momentum. You know what I mean? And whether I forgot who I was I forgot who I was talking to about this. I think it was Bar. It was Bar, and because I posted on my stream, I was like, "What's the best life advice you had ever heard?" Mm-hmm. And the homie Pete was in my chat, and he was like, "Never taking like losses in your life, like never like really accepting losses in your life." And I said it's like the Michael Jordan mentality, it's the Mamba mentality, and it's like you never take losses in your life. Your L's are lessons. You know what I mean? Even in the bad shit that's happening. Yeah, something's good out of it, is coming out of it, but you also, out of your good things, all right, bro, what can I work on? I'm building momentum. What good things can come out of this? You know what I mean? And even when you do something good, sit back, fucking pat yourself on the back, bro. Hey, I did this, I accomplished this. You know what I mean? No one else is going to pat you on your back. No one else is going to tell you, hey, bro, you're doing a good fucking job. You know what I mean? So if you do that for yourself or even the little things, it'll start to build up. It'll start to work up. You know what I mean? And that's what I've noticed for myself, whether it be with working out, switching jobs and stuff like that. Like, I was in a really fucked up, headspace. And then after today, officially serving for my first day, I had my first couple tables and, I told my customers, like, hey, I'm a new server, yada, yada, this and that. And they were like, by the end of it, they were like, honestly, if you would have never told us that you were a new server, I wouldn't have been able to notice. You know what I mean? And it's like the little things like that, man. Like, have confidence in yourself. Know who you are. And knowing who you are is taking the time to really understand who you are, what you like, what you're looking for in life, and accepting people when they're coming in and when they're leaving, and really appreciating the good times with them, and because I know we've said it before, you never know when the good times are the good times.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, the little things for me are just like, I feel like they always change. It just depends on where I'm at in my life, and my little things could be just fucking, chilling with my family, or, kicking it with you, D&D, and just kind of taking out what I can from it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't understand, like, everyone moves at such a fast pace. Life moves on without you, but that doesn't mean that you can't stop every once in a while. Life is going to keep going. You can return back to life whenever. Take that time for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, the little things are like the insurmountable things. It's stuff that you look at and you're like, yeah, of course I do this. The best way I describe it is the stuff you don't see in a movie.
Hello.
It's because you see a lot of the big actions in movie. You see a lot of the very big moments that happen. But what you don't see is a lot of the small conversations. It's the same thing as this podcast. They see a lot of stuff and they hear a lot of us talking. It's an hour every week at least. But they don't see all the like small conversation that happens beforehand. It's the little moments of us like laughing before we hit record and like having these inside jokes that take it into the podcast and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like the goofy shit that we do in front of the camera when we're trying to set up shots and shit like that. Yeah,
or like it's that small little bit of time that you spend either with yourself or with somebody, or like the little things that you really are like so minute in fractions of your day, or like moments with somebody that you won't always really remember, but every now and then you'll have that like snap memory that comes to mind. Or it's something like a gesture. It's something literally so simple as like, oh, I remember that time that like I rolled up to Brendan's house and he knew me rolling up, like I wasn't doing super hot, and he had like sour gummy worms for me or some shit like that. The small little things. Shit like that, I think, is like so big, and that's what like defines them. Because, even whenever you hear people talking about like relationship advice, that's what they point to, is like, it's the little things that matter. It's the little things that make your relationship work.
Yeah, bro. Because like if you're in a relationship and you have someone who, say like you know they're having a bad day. And like you said, you get them their favorite candy or you get them flowers. And like, bro, if I ever have a girl, hopefully soon, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. And she gets me flowers, I might give her a baby, like on the spot.
You know, I literally had a coworker a long while.
I've never gotten flowers.
I had a coworker a long while back who was talking to me about a guy that they were interested in, and they were like, they had a rough day, and I was thinking about getting them flowers, but I don't think that they'd like flowers. And I was like, why don't you think they like flowers? And they're like, they're a guy, you know, they're not like that. And I was like, they're human. They're not a guy. And they like stopped and stared at me and they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm a guy. I've received flowers once in my life, and it was for a show, and it meant the world to me.
Bro, if anyone ever got me flowers, like that shit is like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is like, there's this misconception of like only certain people can like certain things, and it's like, no, it's we're all human. We all generally like the same thing. You can kind of guess. And if you know this person enough to be on that level with them, you probably can know, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that gets off topic. But you are talking about people that, you know, have an impact on your life, and that way, how I think that one really big thing is people in your life create situations that impact your life in either positive or negative ways. And how do you kind of let that not be like a drastic big part of your life? How do you not let the short term affect your long term mindset, or vice versa? You know, it's not really supposed to be said vice versa. Ain't that shit dumb?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. My mind will get fucked real quick. Yeah, see, you already fucked me up. Repeat your question. Come on, dog. You can't be fucking with me like this.
How do you make choices that impact your present life while not drastically creating repercussions for yourself? And the opposite as well. How do you make decisions that allow you to plan for the future too?
Every decision has an equal counter decision. And
it's equal and opposite reaction, but yes.
Yeah. Same shit. So no matter, I feel like for me, everyone, if you look at it from like a consequence standpoint, or like if I do this is going to happen. If I do this is going to happen. If you do anything, something else is going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
Yes.
Right.
But the problem is like there's some choices that you can make right now that do drastically create repercussions in the future.
Yeah, but I feel like you're going to be smart about that. And I feel like most people would be smart about that.
No. Because just going out willy-nilly, like doing whatever the fuck you want to do, while it does prove to be like a life that lets you go like, yeah, whatever, like I'm going to enjoy living in the moment, it does create repercussions at a point because that shit catches up to you.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Because here's the thing. If I go and I talk to 10 girls and I tell them all, yeah, we got a date. We go on dates. I fuck around with all of them. And then then leave the door open of like, I don't really want to end this because I don't want to have to deal with that drama. And I don't really want to tell them that we're dating because I don't want to do that. Now I have two avenues that are just going to crash into each other because all these people are there.
Yeah, but you're not a shitty person.
But that's my point.
That's a shitty thing to do.
But that's my point is like,
yeah, but
living in the moment can only go so far, and you have to be careful.
I get you. And I feel like what that is, it's more living in the moment with still some type of like
understanding the repercussions of your actions.
And human beings. You know what I mean? Like, if putting your happiness first means doing harm to others, or if making yourself happy involves harming or affecting somebody else in a negative way, find an alternate route.
Looking at you, Ted Bundy.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, bro. Find an alternate route, dog. Like, do something different. Like, I'm sure you can still do something very similar to that route and not end up fucking with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Looking at you, John Wayne Gacy. how do you live in the moment while also prepping for the future? How does that happen? How do you prep for the future and kind of also be able to like take a step back from living in the moment? Because I think that's something that I kind of struggle with is I go to one extreme or the other, and I kind of am trying to find that middle ground nowadays in my life. And it's something that's kind of hard to balance because you sit there and I'm like, I'm going to live in the present. Like, I'm going to make decisions that make me happy now and like kind of, you know, obviously be a little bit smart about it, try to not completely shoot myself in the foot. And kind of just, you know, we'll roll with the punches. We'll see where certain stuff goes, not try to worry about it. But then you also have to take into account like, okay, if I'm doing all this stuff for the present, what am I setting myself up for? What am I moving forward to? What's my next goal, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's always like, I talked about it before. So setting up your goals, you know what I mean? So if you have certain goals that you have to hit, like in a 3, 6, 9 to a year, month span, obviously you're still working on those goals outside. And it's really hard to find that balance between like living in the moment, preparing for the future, living in the moment, preparing in the future. And I think you'll find that like finding that balance is knowing when you're on too much of one side. So if you're preparing too much for the future and you find yourself like, I'm not really doing anything, I'm kind of just chilling.
I'm not living life.
You know what I mean? Ease up on the other side. And then if you're on the other side where you're like, all I'm doing is living life, partying, fucking doing whatever I want, yada, yada, this and that, you have to understand that there's going to be repercussions because you're not being careful. You know what I mean? So find that middle ground between, find that middle ground between living life, doing what makes you happy, but still, all right. But at the end of the day, because for me, the way I look at it is like, yeah, I can have fun right now, but I want the rest of my life to look like this. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to do this with the rest of my life. So have fun now while I'm working towards it, but also just kind of keep, because like what I'm doing right now and having fun right now is still motivation for what I want to do in the future. You know what I mean? So if you can find that connect and like almost that reminder in your head on the little things that you're doing, I'm doing this because I'm working towards this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just it's so much give and take, I feel like.
And some of it does boil down to you have to enjoy doing things that also set you up for the future sometimes. You know, like there are things that I do now that set me up towards like, okay, I'm reaching this goal because this is something that I like to do that creates a better future opportunity for me.
Hence bartending and really getting into bartending and stuff like that.
Stuff like that. You know, you kind of have to navigate those situations of like, what is stuff that makes me happy that also sets me for the future, and then take those out of the equation too and be like, okay, what's stuff that makes me happy that I just can have as a hobby and pick up for like, you know, an hour a day or whatever, right? However long, to kind of like keep yourself sane. You know, for some people that's doom scrolling TikTok, some people that's reading, some people that's video games, some people that's sleeping.
But then again, it always goes into too much of anything is always bad too.
Yeah, which is why it's like, you know, you do it in moderation. You try and find the healthy balance.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's rough, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like everything's worth it. Nothing that is easy is not. Oh, I forgot how I was going to say that. If it's hard, it's worth it, basically. If it's difficult, it's worth it.
Nothing hard ever comes free?
Sure.
Close enough.
I forgot how I was going to word that. It sounded really good in my head.
That kind of touched on it of like the life is kind of unexpected and will often take you in winding roads. How do you kind of shift with it and learn to kind of just be like, I'll let this roll off my shoulders. It's fine. Like it doesn't matter that much, and not like let that be an overwhelming presence of anxiety or like something that really drags down your whole week or your day or whatever. Because
I think you're a lot better about that than you think you are. And like this is just like me like talking about you just in a sense because I've seen you do it. When it comes to your work ethic, so like in a work environment, you know, you could be having a bad day in a work environment or something like that. But you more than, because my dad's the same way. You remind me, your work ethic reminds me a lot of my dad because my dad is always like,
Papa? Papa kiss.
Oh, what a great sound bit. Oh man. I hope you use that. I hope you clip that and take that and put it on the soundboard here. You should take that. Baba geese.
Meh.
My dad's the same way in a sense of like, even when he started out, like, yeah, he said his first job, 13, 14 years old, was working at a meat shop, picking up all the fucking grinds and shit that were on the floor. But he did that shit to the best of his ability. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to do it the best way, and I'm going to do it better than anybody else in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm going to do it the right way. So what that is like, no matter how hard, no matter what shit is going on, if you're doing shit the right way and you believe that you're doing it the right way and you really believe in yourself, at some point you're going to get a break. You know what I mean? Everybody who's successful has said it. If you watch any videos with any millionaires or anybody successful, they're always like, dude, like, I thought my world was coming down, and then right before everything hit the fucking fan, I got my break. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you never know when that shit is coming. So keep your fucking attitude up. Keep the fucking...
But how do you do that? How do you keep the positive mindset? How do you let that, like, I'm still trying to enjoy life. Like, I not everything is this serious. I don't need this to be the end of my world.
And that's all perspective based. And that's what people have to work on is how you look at things. So if you are looking at things as such a negative aspect and like, man, this is going down, this is going down, this is going down. Everything around you, anything anybody hears is down, 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 negative, 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 right? And the way I look at it, obviously with my beliefs, you know, I'm not a very big guy over there. We got a little bit of heat for that last time. I believe that if you're putting out good energy into the universe is going to give it back to you. You know what I mean? And sometimes, depending on what you believe, right? Some people say God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. For me, I think the universe likes to pick out some very special people, see how much they can fuck with them, and then them fucking with them that much, like the universe fucking with those people that much, turns out to make a fucking monster. You know what I mean? And not in a bad way, but just a monster, like someone who can, whatever space they're in, they dominate it.
For me, in those situations where it's like, we'll take it to the work environment because I think that's the easiest to kind of compare it to, because work and school are kind of synonymous in some facets of like, you were showing up every day for roughly 8 hours, give or take, and you are working with the same people or alongside the same people, and you are there to complete task A to get to outcome B. Yeah. You know, that type of thing. And so I think that these are kind of, synonymous. Literally at work for me, whenever like a couple people in particular get super wound up about their shit. Like, literally today I had somebody look at me and they're like, why do you sound so angry? I was like, I'm not, I'm just tired. And I was like, but I'm doing good, honestly. And I was like, why do you look so angry? And they're like, 'cause I'm here. And I was like, okay. And they're like, I want to go home. My tables suck. And I'm like, okay, like I get that. But I'm like, what sucks about them? And like, they kind of just didn't really have any reasons other than the fact that like, they just didn't really want to be there. And I was like, I mean, look, in an hour, you're going to clock out. And I said, you got here 2 hours after I did. You're going to clock out 2 hours before I do.
And probably make hella more money.
And I was like, and you'll probably still pull the same amount of paycheck. I was like, either way, in 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours,
you're going to be done.
You're clocking out and you leave this building, you can go live your life. Does it really matter that much to you what happens in these 2 to 3 hours that you have to be upset about, instead of being like, man, I'm going to make these 2 to 3 hours while I'm here, while I'm in an environment that I don't really want to be in. I'm going to make them fun. I'm going to talk to some people. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to try and make them something that I enjoy.
Yeah, because it's like, for me, like, I forgot what clip it was. Some dude, he was like, change your mentality. You get to go to work. You got the opportunity to wake up today. You know what I mean? We get the opportunity to do this podcast. We have the opportunity to be able to do this. And it's like, bro, people don't even have the opportunity to wake up under a fucking crib or under a ceiling. You know what I mean? People don't have the opportunity to wake up with clothes on their back. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's slowing down. that's slowing down, looking at life like, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be worse. It could always be worse.
Yeah, which is what Kratos wants to talk about on the podcast. He wants to talk about it could always be worse and stuff like that.
Shout out to Kratos. Love you, bro.
Much love, brother. Also, like, another coworker, and it was funny to see the contrast. Coworker walks up to me today. She, it's the end of the night. She's closing. Got there at the same time that I did. And she looks at me and goes, "That's my second table that didn't tip. Left 0 for me." And I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry." And she's like, "It's okay. All the other tables were nice. And that's what matters." And I was like, what a great mindset to have.
You said, "Oh my God, I literally want to give you a hug."
Yeah, I was like, wow, you are suddenly so much cooler right now.
You said literal breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because it was just like, and it was within like a 15-minute period. And so I was like, that's crazy.
Wild.
But like, and that's the thing is like, she left with a smile on her face and be like, "Later, Jaxon, it was good to see you. I'll see you, in a couple days." And I was like, cool. And then the other person left and was like, "See ya." And I was just like, doesn't it suck to be so upset all the time?
Yeah, bro. Doesn't it suck to just be miserable all the time, bro? Like, doesn't it suck to just be upset, sad, and just hate your life all the time?
Man, some people that listen to this podcast really have heard me say that to them.
Like, bro, lighten the fuck up. Lighten up. Fucking smile. Go watch some comedy. Crack a laugh. Go smoke some weed. Jesus.
I think that kind of on that topic of like trying to help people, trying to make them feel better about certain situations, how do you know where to put your effort? How do you know, life's super short, and we have this thing of like, you don't know if you get to wake up the next day. You don't know if you get to be blessed like that or whatever. Like, you don't know who's going to be by your side the next day.
Listen, bro. I saw this video. Right? If you had $86,400 every day.
Oddly specific amount.
To spend, money-wise, in your account when you woke up, 86 grand hit your account. But when you went to sleep, it all disappeared. What would you do?
Is this like an actual question for me?
Yeah.
86K is a lot.
But you would, knowing that it went away, and it wouldn't roll over.
Can I take cash out?
You have 86 in cash, but as soon as it...
Okay, well, that's all I need to know. I'd like bless some people, dude. Like, I'd go take some homies out to eat. I'd make sure that all my homies have groceries. I'd probably go drive around the community, find some peeps, like drop some cash off to, because I know there's some people who in my area I see regularly that are homeless, and that like, I've talked to them before, stuff like that. And so I'd probably go like, be like, "Hey, like, take your shit, go." I'd probably help my dad, my grandma, and my mom out. 86K is a lot. Right. That I don't need.
Right. And so, but you would try and spend it as fast as you can, knowing that the next day wasn't going to be there, right?
Yeah. You know what I'd honestly probably do a lot of too? I'd probably drop that on just like cancer and Parkinson's research.
What a fucking thug.
Because that's stuff that's important to me.
Yeah. It's impacted you. But, okay, well, not. This is where I'm going to go with it because now I feel bad. In a day, you get 86,400 seconds. That time doesn't roll over to the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Why waste that time? If it was money, you wouldn't. I saw a video that went viral on Instagram, and that shit, like, literally, I, like, put my phone down and, like, had to really, like...
Okay, you're being super serious right now.
No, I know. And
I'm going to pivot.
No, I know, because you broke this down in such a literal term of money, and I was like, fuck.
And, like, I know because you're super right in the sense that, like, if you had that much time to spend all that money, you wouldn't fuck around.
Yeah.
But have you seen this video? It's this video, and it's this guy, and he's in a classroom, and he's talking to his teacher, right? And he's going, like, he's writing on a whiteboard. And it's this kid, and he's like, time, T, equals money, M, right? What do women want? And, like, he goes through this whole thing of, like, women want money. Therefore, if money equals time, and, like, it's just this whole stupid breakdown that he goes, it's dumb. Anyway, I'll link it. I'll find it. I love that video. I think it's super funny.
I think you're just gonna have to send it to me.
Yeah, I'll link it.
What a fucking pivot. What's the next thing you want to talk about? You fucking goofy ass.
I
can't with you.
I think we didn't really finish the whole like how to tell where to put your energy.
And in the most unselfish way I can say this, put your energy into things that put their energy back into you. And I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but you shouldn't look at things like for a return. I've learned in my life at this point that at some point you have to have some type of return. You have to have some type of give back that's like...
There's also a difference between like don't do things and expecting a return, and...
If you go out of your way to do something for somebody, don't expect them to do the same thing.
Yeah,
obviously.
And then having like a relationship with somebody like mine and your relationship where I do something and I'm expecting that you will, you know, give me some sort of like, even if it's just like, dab me up, brother.
Yeah, just like some random
like
shit. Like
I put effort into D&D and I just expect that you show up and you play the game.
Yeah, and have fun with it.
And that's not something where it's like, I'm expecting a return.
But it's just more of like a hope.
Something that I'm putting energy into.
Yeah.
And so the energy that I put in, I'm expecting that type of return.
Yeah.
And that's the best way.
And I'll tell you what, we definitely do make it a good time.
Yeah, that's a fucking time.
Well, there's times where Jaxon has written whole scripts and then he's like, fuck the paper. I guess we're winging it. What a time. But yeah, man, going into things that you know that are going to return back to you. You know what I mean? So like...
It's wet.
Hmm?
The table's wet.
So am I.
Going.
Yeah, and it's just like, if you're putting into somebody, whether it be platonic, relationship,
Non-tonic.
non-tonic, tonic water,
Tonic.
tonic, you know what I mean? Sonic, I don't know what we're doing now. But no matter what it is, if you're putting into somebody, you know, parents, relationship, platonic, friendship, whatever it is, go fuck yourself, don't say it again. If they're not giving back to you, something's got to change. Either you got to let them know, like, hey, like, are you good? Yada, yada, this and that. Like, you know, I'm here for you. Blah, blah. Obviously, those people know that they're there for you. But if someone's not really putting that same energy back into a friendship, I feel like it's almost like, so obviously a slap in the face, but it's like does that person care about me? You know what I mean? And I think that always rolls into people's head, but it's like, me and you are really good at cutting people off.
I don't think I am.
Oh, well, I am. I've gotten to the point where, like, if I don't feel you give me any type of, like...
I think I'm getting better at it. Slowly.
I feel like I have some influence on that.
Yeah, I feel like you and a couple other people do.
I'm just glad I have influence on that. I'm way too good at ghosting people. And I sometimes do it unintentionally.
I was going to say, I don't think it's always an intentional thing, Brendan.
Sometimes I do unintentionally just stop talking to people, right? But that also kind of goes with, like...
Smoking?
No. I was going to say it kind of goes in with, like, people who, like...
I got very defensive for a second.
I was like, no. But the people who give into my life, I give back to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the people who are continuously, like, checking in on me. Like, Kratos texts me probably every other day. You know, if I post something on my story or, you know, just, hey, bro, I hope you're doing good. I told him I was working at, you know, the new restaurant. And he was like, hey, bro, like, in a month, let me know how your money's going. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hear from you. And, you know, like, for me, like, that meant a lot. Because obviously, like, we met him in a workplace. But, you know, he became a homie. You know what I mean? And it did just mean a lot. And Kratos, I have to smoke with you, bro. I know I'm slacking and I'm ghosting and I'm a piece of shit. But I do have to smoke with you. I do that with so many people.
Well, we're going to do the poker night here soon.
Oh, okay. You guys been talking about it?
Yeah, I'm planning it to make sure it actually happens.
Thank you. Yeah, man. We're going to kick it soon. We're going to smoke soon. I got to roll you up a nice actual backwood because the last one was very sad. Joint was nice. Backwood was sad. I owe you a backwood. But yeah, man. Just putting into good people. And I think understanding, like, all right, bro, like, maybe I need to step away because this is bad for me. You know what I mean? But that kind of goes into, like, understanding people and, like, oh, how do I know someone's bad for me? We already talked about that.
We have, and it's weird because I feel like we do that a lot where we're like, we've already talked about this thing, something we've referenced before, but I think that part of the reason why it's okay whenever we restate things is because of the fact that these episodes aren't something that you need to listen to every single one. This is something where somebody can listen to like the third episode and then they check in on this episode and they're like, oh, what's going on here?
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, I get that sense. Then,
but also that's how you get people to be like, I'm going to go listen to that episode now.
Yeah. And I think that's the way you said it before, not expecting like a complete outcome. So like with your D&D reference, like you put a lot of energy into creating you put in a lot of energy into creating the campaign and creating scripts, doing the whole thing, right? And you just expect us to come, have fun, enjoy what you've created for us and do our part. That's what you should expect from somebody. If you go above and beyond and you're the type of person, because me and you also, again, same type of person, when we like care for somebody or love somebody, we're going to love you at 100%. We're off rip 100%. I'm going to give you everything. You know what I mean? And it's either everything or nothing at all. You know what I mean? But your everything isn't always going to be the same as anyone else's. You know what I mean? So you might be like an outstanding fucking person in love and, showing your compassion, yada, yada. But someone else's 100% might just be like getting you a gift, or someone else's 100% like you don't know what anyone else is going through. You don't know what anyone else's 100% is. And so your gestures, you shouldn't expect that same exact, like, I went above and beyond for this person. All right, but if this person just goes above, not beyond, you should still be thankful. You know what I mean? You should still appreciate that. All right, bro, they did what they could. They took the time out of their day to do that. You know what I mean?
And I think
they took $2,000 out of their day to come fuck with me.
I think that there's certain lines that doesn't cross, like that doesn't reach. Like, okay, one of the most common like examples that I can think for like an argument against this point is like an anniversary for a couple. One person puts in like they've prepped a thing for like 2 months. They've really, really fucking like found something that this person will love. They curated it. They got it to where they are set, right? And it's something that they would love. And then person B, the same day is like, oh shit, it's our anniversary. I'm going to go grab some shit from Target, throw it in a box. Well, then take you to fucking Red Robin.
Well, yeah. And in that sense, it's like, in an anniversary, like you should already be like,
yeah, but like that's my point, is like there are certain circumstances like holidays or like things where like
holiday. Okay, so anniversary I feel like was a bad reference, only because anniversaries, if you're fucking with somebody and like say if it's like 5 years, 6 years, you know what I mean, like you guys should both be in love with each other.
There are people who've done that.
Yeah, and
we know.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, all right, bro, you gotta kind of got to get your shit together. You know what I mean?
But that's just what I mean. Of like, there are obviously lines that doesn't extend to.
Yeah, and there needs to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, get your shit together, bro. When it comes to gift giving and like being I don't even know what that's.
This episode is so wild and really not.
I was gonna say like I was just about to say that, but this is so off topic, bro.
Yeah. I don't remember how we got here. I won't lie.
Expecting energy, like when you give it out.
This episode is so fucking everywhere.
It's okay though.
I feel like this is one of the ones where we're kind of just talking about general life advice of like how to make your life feel a little better and not be so like down.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what enjoying the little things and not taking things so serious are,
Take your PTO, bro. Take your vacation hours.
Yeah. Even if it's like a week before they reset.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, this is for all my work people. Obviously, everyone who works, bro. But like, if you've
That's an American thing.
Yeah, bro. Like,
same with sick time.
Bro, take that shit, bro. Like, you don't realize, like, people, oh yeah, I'm gonna just work this up, Okay, bro, go take that shit. Like, actually.
What are you working it up for?
Yeah. It's just
It's the same thing.
you're working for free at that point.
It's the same thing as like people who work 2 jobs but don't really need to work 2 jobs, and they're just like, I'm just trying to get that bag, and I'm like, for what?
Yeah, like what are you
getting a bag for? Like,
what
are you in a rush for?
What are
right
you
now?
killing yourself for?
Yeah. Which is something that the homie Justin did for so long. Justin, tall Justin.
Yeah.
One that godlike jawline Justin.
Tarkov Justin.
No. Godlike jawline Justin.
Oh, godlike jaw.
Yeah.
Got it.
He used to work 2 jobs. For as long as I knew him, he worked 2 jobs.
Yeah,
always
he
did that.
He was always cranking out.
Until recently.
Yeah.
Until this job. And even then, for a little while he was at this job, he was working the 2. And I remember talking to him about it, and he was like, it's just not worth it. He said, I'm not living life. He said, I'm getting all this money, but I'm not spending it on anything. I'm not doing anything with it because I'm working. He's like, I don't have a life. I'm getting married, and I I work so much that like I don't spend time with my significant other. And I was like, yeah, you're so right. Which is something that I needed to hear at the time, because at that time I was working both jobs too. He's like, it's bad for your body, it's bad for your mind, and you just waste so much time doing it. Anyway, obviously, I feel awful for the people who have to do it to survive.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that it gets better soon. But anyway, not taking things so seriously. This is something that I kind of want us to hit on that we haven't touched on a shit ton, because we kind of have focused a lot more on like
the little things.
Yeah, little things, how to feel better about life in general. We obviously touched a little bit, but when it comes to not taking things so seriously, how do you create that environment for yourself? How do you tell yourself like, this is just another thing, like, or laugh about something, or like,
or just let it roll off your shoulders?
Yeah, like that one song said.
I'm waiting for the lyric.
Oh, let it roll right off your shoulders, don't you know?
Never heard the song.
It's at the end of Meet the Robinsons.
Haven't seen that movie in forever.
I haven't either. I just know that it's in that movie.
Yeah, you and your mind.
I don't know what that means.
Because you always remember random ass shit. We always go through this.
Particularly about movies.
Yeah. It's weird, but it's kind of dope.
It's funny. Joe looked at me and he was like, it was our first time working together in like 2 weeks, and he sung a song and I kept singing it, and he was like, I forget that like music. He's like, I sing a song and I know like the chorus. The chorus, the verse, and the next verse.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I miss that guy. Shout out to Joe. Love that man. Not taking things so serious. Shit. Letting people walk out your life, bro. Don't fight that. Don't take that shit too serious, bro. If it looks like someone's lining up to walk out of your life, if someone's lining up to walk out of your life, or you're kind of starting to see someone moving shady, bro, do yourself the favor, open the door for them. That chapter of that person in your life is over. And maybe just for that time. Maybe they come back into your life. You never know. You know what I mean? But
there are so many people in this world. So many. You will encounter millions of people.
We are literally, the world is overpopulated, dog.
Yeah.
With billions of people.
I promise
you. Go travel. Go meet some new people.
I promise that the one person that is leaving doesn't make or break your life.
Like, I want to go, bro, so bad. I want to go spend a year in Japan.
I know.
Like, so bad, bro.
I know, it'll really fuck up this podcast.
It really will. And that's like probably my biggest reason on why I don't do it. But like, this is literally the only reason I don't want to do it.
And financials.
But I'll just save up. I literally would save up a bunch of money just to up and leave for a year. Because cost of living over there is so cheap.
In comparison to here, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So if I ran up a year's worth of money here, I'd be straight over there. Oh, that's the fucking dream. Yeah, man, but not taking things so serious is like, with your tables at a work environment. If you have a bad table, don't take that shit too seriously. How you know that person's not having a bad day and they just decided to take it out on you?
Don't make it right, but
it doesn't mean it's right, but shit, You gonna let that affect you and affect your next couple tables? You know what I mean? Like in a work environment, someone comes through, someone in your work business, if you work in an office, someone's having a pissy ass day, bro, be extra fucking nice to them and watch how they fucking just don't even come near you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. We used to do that shit at Dutch, where, we would be like just killing people with kindness because sometimes people didn't want to be there. We'd be like, hey, bro, lighten the fuck up. You know what I mean? You get to talk to people and make drinks for a fucking living. You know what I mean?
And not make bad money doing it.
And not make bad money doing it. Coming out of high school, that was easily probably the best job you could fucking get. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much shit that, again, it's all based off perspective, bro. Like, it's all based off how you look at it. So if you're forcing yourself to look at it in a bad way, you're all going to get bad out of it.
I think taking everything so serious really does boil down to your understanding of, like, what you're lucky to have or, like, where you're at. Because I think that's where a lot of it ends up being rooted is, like, the complete disregard for, like, oh, I'm fortunate to have this in my life. I'm lucky that I have the friends that I do. I'm lucky that I have access to the internet the way that I do, or a phone, or a house, or food, or water. Like, I don't have to worry about if the lights are going to be on tomorrow, or if I'm going to have food in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, the willingness of that is kind of what really makes or breaks your understanding of being fortunate and being like, it's fine, it's something that'll pass. And obviously I think time and kind of where you are in life also does that, because it's the same thing as like high school is at that point in your life 1/4 of your life, so you really don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah.
And only like 1/3 of that part is memorable part of your life. When I was in high school, I couldn't remember anything really
in my childhood.
At all, other than like snippets.
Yeah.
But, I think that when it comes down to it, in order to take everything so seriously, you got to start looking at, this is what I have, this is what I appreciate, this is what I'm here for, and this is why I'm doing it, to reach the point where you're like, this person being an asshole to me, or this person or this coworker said this, or
doesn't even affect me.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that person doesn't know me. They know my name, not my story. I'm gonna actually hit you. That person doesn't know me. That person doesn't. That person doesn't speak to me like that.
I love you.
Or even if they do, even if it's like your significant other and some bad shit happens, or you guys break up, or like a homie and you get into a bad fight, it's like life goes on. And we're not defined by our worst mistakes or our best ones. We're defined by our continual decisions.
And hey, the biggest person who's gonna judge you is the person who looks you in the fucking mirror, bro. So as long as you cool with that person at the end of the day, fuck everybody.
Yeah,
else.
Ted Bundy, full circle. No, didn't like that one?
No, I didn't. Anywho.
I thought it was kind of funny.
No.
You sure?
No.
See, you think it might be funny. Anyway, let's fucking come up. This has been an episode that we're just fucking rattling.
What an episode. Let's come up. I went to the Kid Cudi concert. And
he didn't even play day and night.
He didn't even play day and night. No, I was kind of upset about that because I really wanted. My phone was at 5% when Kid Cudi started. I was saving my phone because maybe he would drop in. I wanted to send you the video for it.
Day and night.
You know what I mean? No, but that Kid Cudi concert, I think besides J. Cole, Kid Cudi's the best performer I've ever seen live. And that's strictly like he is an entertainer. And he had the people who he was up close with, people in the pits and shit like that who were really up close. He was grabbing their vinyls that they had brought, signing them right there in front of him, handing them back, grabbing T-shirts that they bought there at the concert, signing them.
What kind of microphone did he use?
Was it
like a
it was just a handheld,
and then say like a lapel.
No, it was like a handheld, and then he was able to put it back in the stand and shit like that. So like a wireless.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. Signing while you're singing, unless he was doing like between verses.
Yeah, it was like in between songs.
Okay.
So he would stop.
I thought you meant like, and so I was like, did he have like a?
No. So it was like he would perform a song, and then stop and be like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
He would do the intro to our podcast.
Yeah. Literally, whole stadium. Bro, so many fucking people. And he would just look at everybody and be like, thanks for coming here, guys. He'd be like, I really do appreciate it. No, and he called it the clubhouse. He was like, this is the family. He's like, this is the clubhouse. Anybody who came here, this gang right here. He's like, this is the family. And he was looking at people, while they were like screaming at him. He's like, you good, bro? You good? Screaming at him. He's like, I love you. Love you, man. And then like some girl, you could hear on the mic, I love you, Kid Cudi. Like all the way on the side. And he looked at her and he was like, damn. He was like, I love you too. And it was just like, bro, you know how many people's day, like life he made, bro? Like for them.
Like Keanu Reeves moment.
Bro, like.
No, you're breathtaking. I hate you. It is. But it's like the same thing.
But like, yeah. Because it really would be like, I feel like so many people literally like to this, like even right now, like they wake up and they're like, this is the best moment of my life, 110%. And, he performed just, Mr. Rager, Pursuit of Happiness, Just What I Am, Higher. He had King Chip come out for it. That shit was fire. Smoke the Jada, Just What I Am. And the verse, it was beautiful, man. Honestly. He had like rave visuals, and it was funny because he mentioned it. He was like, y'all smoking out there, right? Obviously. He was like, yeah, I smell it in the air. He was like, everybody drinking? Everyone, yeah, drink out. He's like, anybody on shrooms? Oh, you heard a select amount of few. Yeah, just fucking yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, you guys came to a concert on shrooms? He's like, y'all know how to party. He's like, I fuck with y'all. He's like, you like the visuals? He had a bunch of rave visuals, like crazy ass lasers and shit going on. He was like,
my type of shit.
Yeah. And because even with like, so when he performed Memories with David Guetta,
I do know who that is.
Yeah. So lasers, fucking a bunch of shit. And that shit was super lit. Like crazy ass visuals in the back. One of his songs, he had like shrooms popping out and shit. Like you could tell like he kind of incorporated like rave culture into hip hop.
I miss doing that shit.
You know what I mean? And it was like, it was so fucking cool to see. Cause like I wasn't even tripping, but I told my brother, I literally looked him in the face and I said, bro, if I was on psychedelics right now, I would literally be stuck right here, bro. Like you would see my eyes rolling in the back of my head because that shit was so lit. And it was just a great performance all in all. You know what I mean? Oh, bro, that shit was just, it was beautiful. It was honestly a masterpiece. Fucking love you, Kid Cudi. That shit was lit.
Oh, yeah. Like, yawned and then, like, my eyes started swelling.
Yeah, bro, go ahead. What are you coming up for, big bitch?
I want to talk about creative outlets that I'm finding again. So like I said earlier in the podcast, I started playing guitar again, which has been really good. I've been trying to pick it up on streaming again because I was slacking, and I kind of missed it. And I realized, and then also stuff with this, and I realized that like part of the reason why I've kind of been dragging ass on a lot of stuff and have been kind of feeling a little out of it when it comes to certain days and like certain things is because I haven't really been stretching that muscle. I feel like all my life I've performed the best whenever I'm constantly like flexing my creative muscles. I like am usually end up being happier. That's why whenever I would do production stuff and I was working, because that's what it was for me. I was like, and I mean, when I was doing like theater production stuff, that's when I was the happiest, is when I was actively working. Because like I was creating stuff, I was constantly flexing those muscles of like problem solving skills and unique things that I could do to make something elevated. I think it's the same reason why I like doing streaming or like doing prep work for that type of stuff, or like doing this podcast, like flexes those muscles where I am creating something. And we have some super cool stuff that we're like starting to get prepped for this podcast, big improvements, things that we'll see visually, and then some other stuff that I think I kind of have in the chamber for like ideas that I want to fire off and for us to kind of have a meeting about and really start discussing like the next steps that we take to like really make it start going places. But like finding those creative outlets again and finding that like passion and love that I have for just creating things like is like really starting to kind of become a more apparent part of my life and a part of like what makes me happy. And it's interesting because my family struggles with depression, and also anxiety and some other stuff. And I went and saw my mom, like I said, and the past like 6 times she's seen me, she always goes like, "Hey, are you eating okay? Are you doing okay? Like, you look a lot thinner," which I don't think I do. I think I look the exact same.
Yeah.
I don't think I've changed pretty much at all in the past 6 months to a year.
Yeah, but moms are always going to notice.
Yeah, but like even like my homies like don't say shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think that there's really been any change.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel the opposite way. But she was like, you look like you're getting like, you look thinner, like you look like your clothes fit you a little less, like, and I was like, no, like honestly, I'm doing things that actively put me in a better mood. I'm trying to get outlets that make me feel better. And it was interesting kind of talking to her and trying to make her see like there are certain things that I do that even though they don't necessarily have as big of a payout, like streaming or whatever, right? Or, whatever it might be, like playing guitar or woodwork or anything in those lines, that D&D is a big one. It puts me in a better mood. It puts me in a place where like I could start our session of D&D feeling like shit.
And by the end of it, you're good.
Yeah. Like, or, even an hour in, I'll usually end up being in a better mood and I think that you could see it because it is
something you enjoy, something that brings you happiness.
Not even just in that sense, but like it's an outlet. It's this creative free.
Oh yeah. When Jackson's having a bad day, he lets a fucking dragon loose on the gang.
No, that was planned.
So this is all preemptive anger that's been built up.
Premeditated
murder.
Dragon.
Premeditated dragon murder on his friends.
I had my friend text me and say like that they want us to start live streaming it, and I was like, no shot. There's no way we will.
I don't think we can do that.
Yeah.
No.
There's so much that would have to go into that, and also like
we'd have to be so much faster about our shit and like actually like
here, and
in
there'd
the game.
Be some other stuff there too.
Yeah.
But anyway, crazy times. Crazy times. But yeah, like, I think that there's kind of 2 types of people in this world. There's people who have like just drive outlets that are like they just want to do things, they want to make they just want to make things happen, and those people are driven by that, and then there are people who are like creative, and the creative outlet is what fuels them, and then there's probably some people who are somewhere in between that like get it from something else too.
Yeah.
And so if you're one of those people who's like struggling currently trying to find a creative outlet, like start trying stuff that really flexes that muscle, like, create something. It doesn't have to be like something that you're amazing at, but the moment that you start flexing that muscle, you'll start to find a groove into the things that you love, or you'll find something new that you love that you're like, oh, I want to be better at this because of the way that it flexes my muscles. But yeah, creative outlets, super important.
Do that.
But anyway, I think that edited down will probably hit about an hour.
Probably. Yeah, all good things. But yeah, we're probably gonna wrap it up there. Where can they find you, Jackson?
Wow,
switching it up there, bud.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
Are you?
A little bit.
Oh.
You can find me at RQ on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter.
You can find me at Yep.
Keep going.
Yep. You can find me at KillerB420 on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Caleb B Dabs on TikTok.
And where can they find both of us?
At Coming Up for Air on Instagram and Up for Aircast on Twitter.
And if you enjoyed the podcast, damn, it's one of these episodes, please make sure to rate and subscribe and follow the podcast. If you found something in here or you've listened to one of the other episodes, share it with a homie who you feel like he needs to hear it.
Baba Geese.
Thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you guys next week.
Thanks,
See you
man.
next Wednesday.
Later, y'all.